Oh, hello there, and thanks for joining Uncomplicated Math today. Today we're going to be looking at how to convert decimals into fractions. And if you're unsure of how to convert a decimal into a fraction, or you need a little refresher, then this is the video for you. Now let's get started. So in question number 1, we're being asked to convert the decimal of 9/100ths into a fraction. So looking over to the right-hand side here under our steps involved, we can see that our first step is to identify the place value of where the decimal ends. So for question number 1, we can see here that our decimal ends in the hundredths place. So for step number 2 now, we're going to write the place value as our denominator. So our decimal ended in our hundredths place, so we're going to write a denominator of 100. So now for step number 3, we're going to write the value of our decimal as our numerator. Well, for this problem, the decimal has a value of 9, so we're going to have 9 for our numerator, giving us a fraction of 9/100ths. So anytime that you're looking to convert a decimal into a fraction, you're going to write a fraction where the value of the decimal is over top of its place value. So now moving on to question number 2, we're being asked to convert the decimal of 674 thousandths into a fraction. So our first step is to identify the place value where the decimal ends, which in this case is in the thousandths place. So we're going to give this fraction a denominator of 1000 since the decimal ended in the thousandths place. And now moving on to step number 3, we're going to write the decimal as our numerator. So our decimal has a value of 674, so we're going to write 674 for our numerator, giving us a fraction of 674 thousandths. Now we're going to move on to question number 3, where this time we're being asked to convert the decimal of 5/10ths into a fraction. So the first thing we're going to do is identify the place value of where the decimal ends, which in this case is in our tenths place. So for step number 2, we're going to write a denominator of 10, and then we're going to write the value of our decimal up top, giving us a fraction of 5/10ths. So now we're going to move on to question number 4, where this time we're being asked to convert the decimal of 1/4500ths into a fraction. Now, anytime that you're looking to convert a decimal with a whole number into a fraction, you're going to express that decimal as a mixed number when we convert it into a fraction. So in writing our mixed number, the first thing that we're going to do is we're actually going to take the value of our whole number and we're just going to write it right into our answer because the value of the whole number is not going to change in our answer. So now that we've figured out the value of the whole number for our mixed number, we're going to figure out the fractional part of our mixed number. And that's where we're going to resume the steps that we've already been following. So first off, we're going to identify the place value where the decimal ends, which in this case is in the hundredths place. So we're going to write a denominator of 100 for our mixed number, and then for our numerator, we're going to write the value of the decimal, which in this case is 45, giving us a mixed number of 1/4500ths. So now we're going to move on to question number 5, where this time we're being asked to convert the decimal of 11/9/10ths into a fraction. So since we have a whole number, the first thing we're going to do is write the value of our whole number in our answer, and then now we can figure out the fractional part of our mixed number. So just following the steps we've been following, we can see here that our decimal ends in our tenths place, so our mixed number is going to have a denominator of 10, and then it's going to have a numerator of 9 because the value of our decimal is 9, giving us a mixed number of 11/9/10ths. So now we're going to move on to our last problem where we're being asked to convert the decimal of 4/576 thousandths into a fraction. So once again, we have a whole number decimal here, so we're going to write the value of our whole number into our answer, and then we're going to work through the steps. So we're going to identify the place value where the decimal ends, which in this case is in our thousandths place. So the denominator is going to have a value of 1000, and then for our numerator, we're going to write the value of our decimal, which in this case is 576. So we're going to have a mixed number of 4/576 thousandths. So hopefully by now you understand the steps involved when converting decimals into fractions. Help make math less complicated by smashing those like and subscribe buttons. As always, enjoy today's math journey.